All right, let's jump straight into this. If you ever feel like your English could sound a little more, well, native,
Mm-hmm.
less reliant on those common crutches like, very good, very big, or very tired,
Yeah.
then this deep dive is absolutely for you. We've been sifting through a fascinating collection of notes and lists, specifically focusing on ways to upgrade everyday vocabulary.
That's right. And the core idea running through this material, it's simple, but actually quite powerful.
Which is,
Replacing very plus an adjective with a single, stronger, more descriptive word. It's
mm,
not just about sounding, fancy. It fundamentally improves your fluency, makes your expression feel much more natural to native speakers.
yeah, absolutely. And our mission today is to pull out, what, 20 specific word swaths?
20 specific ones suggested in these sources, yeah.
Words that native speakers use constantly and really dig into why they make such a difference. So lean in for a second and, be honest with yourself. Do those very phrases pop up quite a bit in your own English?
Because chances are they do for a lot of learners.
Right. And there's a whole world of more expressive options just waiting.
It's quite remarkable, actually, how much more precise and impactful you can be just by choosing that single, stronger word. The notes make a really compelling argument that ditching very is one of the most effective ways to sound less like you're translating in your head.
And more like you're thinking directly in English.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
really resonates when you see the examples laid out. Let's start with what the notes present as the absolute classic. Very good.
Right. The evergreen, very good. Instead of that, the sources strongly recommend using excellent or fantastic.
Okay. And when you look at the examples provided, imagine saying, she did an excellent job on the project instead of she did a very good job.
Big difference.
Or this pizza is fantastic
Hmm.
compared to this pizza is very good. You can just hear the difference, can't you?
Yeah.
What makes excellent or fantastic so much better here?
Well, very good is it's generic, isn't it? It's a modifier adding intensity to an already positive but um, kind of bland adjective. Excellent implies something more, like surpassing expectations, reaching a really high standard.
Right.
And fantastic evokes something extraordinarily good, often with a sense of maybe wonder or excitement. They carry inherent meaning beyond just scaled up goodness. They are that higher level.
Yeah, they paint a much clearer picture immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, going the other way. Very bad.
Okay. The notes offer awful
Yeah.
and terrible.
And the examples drive this home. That movie was awful. I had a terrible day. I feel like awful or terrible communicate not just bad quality, but maybe even like a strong negative reaction or impact. Is that it?
Exactly. Very bad is vague. Was it slightly bad? Moderately bad? You don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
Awful and terrible convey a strong negative experience, something truly unpleasant or severe. The sources note that these show real emotion, and you can see why.
Yeah.
They're the words we instinctively reach for when we're genuinely unhappy or, distressed about something.
So much more expressive. Definitely. Let's talk about scale next instead of very big.
Try enormous or massive.
The examples are great. Their house is enormous.
Yeah.
Or he has a massive following on social media. Hearing those, enormous, makes me think huge, maybe slightly unwieldy even.
Yeah.
And massive feels weighty, almost overwhelming in scale sometimes.
Precisely. Very big just tells you it exceeds the average size. That's it.
Yeah.
Enormous suggests something of truly unusual or impressive size. Massive implies not only large size, but often weight, bulk, or impact.
Yeah.
As the material says, they simply sound stronger and, yes, more native-like, because this is how people naturally describe things of great size or scale.
Makes sense. And the opposite end, very small.
You can use tiny or minuscule. The cute example they give is, look at this tiny kitten.
Got it.
And for something more formal or technical, the risk is minuscule.
So tiny feels perfect for something small and maybe endearing, like the kitten.
Yeah.
While minuscule implies something incredibly small, often to the point of being almost insignificant or hard to detect, especially in a more formal context.
Exactly the distinction the notes point out. Tiny is common in everyday speech for anything notably small. Minuscule, with its Latin roots, suggests something so small it's barely measurable or perceptible. Using the right word adds precision.
Adding precision or feeling, depending on the word choice. Okay, let's move on to feelings, starting with very tired.
Right. The straightforward upgrade here is exhausted.
After the hike, I was completely exhausted.
Ugh.
Yeah, when I say very tired, I might just need a nap, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I say exhausted, I feel like I need to collapse. The notes say this adds drama and realism. How does one word do that?
Well, tired is a state. Exhausted implies the process of becoming tired has gone all the way, to
Excellent.
completion.
Yeah.
You've used up all your energy. It's a stronger state that carries the weight of significant effort or strain. That completion adds the drama. It's not just a little tired, it's done, finished.
That distinction makes perfect sense. Okay, next feeling. Very happy.
The sources suggest thrilled or delighted.
Examples: I'm thrilled to meet you, or we're delighted with results. These feel, I don't know, more active somehow than just very happy.
They do, don't they? Happy is a general state of contentment or joy, pretty broad.
Yeah.
Thrilled suggests intense excitement, often about a specific event or prospect. Delighted implies great pleasure, often in response to something specific. They convey the source or type of happiness, not just the intensity level.
Interesting.
And the notes mention these are commonly used in both formal and informal settings, which makes them really versatile upgrades.
Good to know they work pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
What about when things aren't so good? Very sad.
Replace it with miserable or heartbroken.
She felt miserable all week. He was heartbroken after the breakup. Wow. These aren't just sad, they sound
Yeah.
overwhelming.
Precisely the point the notes emphasize, very sad, barely scratches the surface for deep sadness. Miserable describes a state of profound unhappiness or discomfort. Heartbroken signifies intense grief or despair, usually due to loss or disappointment. These words don't just tell you someone is sad, they convey the depth and type of their suffering.
You really feel the weight.
They are, as the sources note, so much more emotional and clear.
Definitely. About very angry.
The powerful single word is furious.
He was absolutely furious when he found out.
Yeah.
Just hearing that, you know exactly how angry he was. No ambiguity.
It's one word, huge impact, as the notes summarize it. Very angry is okay, but furious communicates a level of anger that's almost uncontrollable, maybe even, physically noticeable.
Yeah, like white knuckles furious.
Exactly. It's faster to say and much stronger in its meaning.
Definitely faster and more impactful. And speaking of things we feel intensely, very hungry.
The source highlights starving.
I'm starving. Let's eat. Compared to I'm very hungry. Does starving literally mean you're dying of hunger here? Obviously not. But it gets the point across so vividly, right?
Right. Exactly. This is a perfect example of hyperbole used naturally in English.
Cool.
Starving in this everyday context doesn't mean actual starvation. It means extremely hungry, hungry to the point where it feels unbearable or urgent. It sounds, as the notes put it, more real in casual conversation because it's quick, expressive.
And everyone knows what you mean.
Right. It's commonly understood to mean very, very hungry.
It's kind of the go-to phrase for that feeling, isn't it?
It really is.
And finally, for this first group, very funny.
The upgrade is hilarious.
That joke was hilarious. Is there any situation where very funny is genuinely better than hilarious when you really mean it?
Not really, no. Not for expressing something genuinely laugh out loud funny in natural speech. Very funny is technically correct, sure, but hilarious conveys that sense of uncontrollable laughter or extreme amusement much more efficiently and vividly.
Yeah.
The notes simply call this swap way better than just very funny, and it's kind of hard to disagree, isn't it?
No, I can definitely see why. Okay, so we've explored the first 10 swaps, digging into why each one works better, using examples from the source material. The notes also included a faster list, right? 10 more upgrades.
Yes, consider this a quick fire round from the sources. 10 more common very phrases and their stronger single-word alternatives. The principle is exactly the same, gain strength and naturalness.
Let's do it. Rapid fire. Instead of very cold,
Freezing,
very hot,
boiling,
very clean,
spotless,
very dirty,
filthy,
very slow.
sluggish. Think of something moving kind of heavily or reluctantly.
Nice distinction.
Yeah.
Okay, very fast.
Rapid or speedy. The notes also include that one.
Both great, adding that sense of speed without needing very, very smart.
Brilliant. Or genius, also listed as a powerful alternative.
Two fantastic options there. Very quiet,
Silent,
very loud.
deafening,
And finally, instead of very boring.
tedious.
Eh.
The notes also suggest dull as well.
Perfect. Okay, so that's 20 specific words or pairs of words from the source material to start upgrading your vocabulary right away. And the conclusion the notes draw for all of these seems really consistent.
Yeah, it is.
Choosing freezing over very cold, spotless over very clean, tedious over very boring. All of these alternatives are simply stronger, clearer, and sound much more natural than relying on very repeatedly.
And that's the real takeaway for you as a learner, isn't it? This isn't just about knowing synonyms. It's a direct path to sounding more fluent and, well, natural in everyday English conversation.
Yeah.
By replacing very with a word that already contains that intensity, you communicate more effectively and honestly more efficiently.
The sources give a really practical challenge, too, which I liked. Just pick one or two of these words that resonated with you today. Maybe exhausted or hilarious or furious, whatever sticks, and actively try to use them the very next time you're speaking English. Just see how it feels, how it changes your sentence.
It feels like such a small tweak when you just look at a list like this, but the impact on the clarity and the expressiveness of your communication can be surprisingly large, really.
It really does make you pause and consider the power of individual word choice, doesn't it?
Definitely.
So maybe think about this as you go forward. How might consciously choosing a stronger word like furious instead of very angry not only make you sound different, but perhaps even change the way you process or communicate the intensity of the feeling itself?
That's an interesting thought. Does the stronger word just reflect your emotion, or does using it somehow sharpen or even amplify that feeling?
Right. In your own mind or in how the listener understands it, it's something worth mulling over as you experiment with these vocabulary upgrades.